You going there too?
Yep, we're recording
Okay,
already.
cool.
We are live.
Oh.
We are live, and rumor has it that we are supposed to wait a few minutes to see if anyone joins us.
Oh.
So let's see. Is anyone going to join us?
Yes, I haven't done a live video in months. I think it's been a year since I did a live video.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. We are back at it. So, hey, everyone. It's Natalie and Walter. We are coming to you live from Walter's home. And today we are going to be talking about water fasting, some pros and cons of water fasting, what are the health benefits, why you should do it. And part of the reason why we're having this conversation tonight is, Walter, you are what day in now on your water fast?
So I've not eaten in 17 days.
17 days. And so strictly all water, no juice, no anything in between, right? Straight water for all these days.
I've had tea. Like green tea is good, but after a while it gets hard to digest anything versus water because the taste is strong. Like I drink green tea every day for benefits that we can get into. But so right now I'm doing tea when I can. I got some Dr. Berg. Dr. Berg on YouTube is like the best ever. Like he has 2,500 videos. He's the man when it comes to health.
So let's rewind a little bit though. So 17 days, predominantly all water. You've had some green tea because there's some additional health benefits. But you've had no food in 17 days.
No food in 17 days.
No food in 17 days. So let's talk about what is water fasting. Let's start with that. What is water fasting? So
it's just drinking water. And a lot of, even in religious times, you saw that they fasted. And fasting was good. It's still great for the body. And even our ancestors, like they would go hunting and they would go 2 or 3 days without eating, which is what your fat is for, is to, so you store the fat and then that fat converts to energy and then you can live on that for 20, 30, 40 days, which is actually what I've been doing. I'm on day 17. So, but the water fasting, what it does, it allows the water to go in your body and not mess with your insulin level. Because every time you eat, you spike your insulin, your glucose. So let's say I eat breakfast, which is a total scam, by the way, because breakfast is
breaking our fast.
Breaking the fast. So you can break your fast at 2, 3, 4, 5 p.m. It really doesn't matter. You can break the fast anytime, right? So when you eat, your insulin spikes, and then you have a snack, your insulin spikes, and then you eat lunch, your insulin spikes. You have another snack, and another snack. Then you have another snack, and you have dinner, and you have ice cream, you have another snack. So you're eating 4, 5, 6 times a day, and your insulin is spiking every time you eat. And so your glucose is up, and so what's happening is sooner or later your insulin starts to get tired, right? Which is why people gain weight, get diseases, taking shots, diabetes, which just means your diabetes is beating you. So the water fast goes in your body and doesn't spark your insulin or sugar. So it allows your body to heal. So your digestive system takes a break, right? Because we're supposed to eat an early dinner and then go all to the next day without eating. So our digestive system has a chance to rest. The fact that we eat all the time, our body's always working and it just gets exhausted.
Sure.
So
we're never turning off the car.
Right. Imagine that. Just your car's always running.
We're never. I mean, when I think about you doing the water fast, it almost thinks like we're flushing the transmission. We're doing a transmission flush. So is it always a 21-day fast? I know that there's, we talk about intermittent fasting. There's intermittent water fasting, I believe, as well, right, that I saw. So what makes someone choose the length of time? I don't know if you want to show us what made you choose your 21 days. And then what have been, I'm curious on, in the 17 days, what are some things that you've experienced, whether it's emotionally, physically, spiritually?
Well, emotionally, spiritually, I'm always working on that. But I've always been into my health, right? I'm 53 years old. I'm thinking, damn, like, I think
53.
Right, no one will believe you. Even now, no one's going to believe me. But I turned 53 last Thursday. But I've always been into my health, right? So I was like, I got to take care of myself. How do I manage my weight? And then, so a couple things happened to me. I was in a pretty decent, like, I always thinking about things being great. I was in a pretty, good accident. And so, I went to the hospital, I was doing some things, and then while going to the hospital, doing my, car accident and doing some other things. And so I was like, I should get more life insurance, and then I need it for my family. And then, so my results came back, and they were like, oh, and with men, there's this thing called a PSA, which is your prostate. So, you know, I guess 2, 3, 4, somewhere normal, but mine was like 10. And I was like, shit. And I sold life insurance for 30 years, so I know what that means, or it could mean. So they were like, well, you have a 50-50 chance of having prostate cancer. And so that's like putting a ball around your neck and just carrying it. You ever seen Final Destination? Well, you know sooner or later they're going to get you. That's how I felt. I remember sitting in the car in the parking lot after I went to the doctor, and he walked in, said, give it to me straight. He goes, yeah, so you have cancer. And I was like, seriously? I'm like 50. He goes, you're in good shape. He goes, but sometimes it just happens. Like,
well, and statistically, 1 out of every 2 men will have cancer. Prostate, I think, is one of the more
it's the
common
most.
ones.
Oh, yeah.
And then 1 out of every 3 women. So the odds of us going through the same experience are not slim, right? The odds are pretty high that most of us are going to go through this, or at least someone that's close to us. So 1 out of every 2 males, 1 out of every 3 females will have cancer in their lifetime.
Yeah, and a lot of men, when they do autopsies upon their death, they find that they have prostate cancer, even though that didn't kill them. It's a very popular disease. The prostate is just so funny. So he told me that.
Common.
Yeah, right. It's a common disease for men, especially now. It's increasing. Like a lot of guys that I've talked to, or people that I watch on YouTube, have got it from like a lot of them can go back to a point in their life where they went through extreme stress, like during the pandemic. Like trying to run your business and the stress levels and all these things. And plus, food is a huge contributor to cancer. It's like the biggest. That and stress are like 2 of the biggest things that will cause cancer. Because a lot of us have cancer cells that are just chilling. But, when you do something to excite them, like a huge stress event or a period, then they'll say, okay, they're ready for us. So I got that. And the doctor was like, okay, we have 2 options. Radiate 42 times, zap, 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 like come here 42 days in a row and we'll zap you with radiation. I said, oh, that sounds fun. And then he said, oh, we'll just remove it out. You know what I mean? I'm like, so, okay, so if you take it, what does that mean for me? He goes, well, sexually, for the rest of your life, I said, move that one. Right, and not
wait, let's rewind. So I know that it meant potential colonoscopy bag, or is that what it's called?
Well, the colonoscopy bag was, he explained it. If we take it out, your functions and all that stuff, you can just kiss them goodbye, right? And I'm like, I'm still 52, so I'm not really interested in that. And he goes, oh, we could just radiate, but chances are you're going to have a bag. It's a great chance you're going to have a bag. I go, I'm not doing the bag either. I go, what else are my options? I said, what about nutrition? He goes, that has nothing to do with cancer. And so I looked at him and I was like, you know what? I'm out. And so I remember walking to the car, call my kids. I didn't call my kids because I want them all know, but I told one of my sons because he already, he's my life insurance agent, so he knew before I did. I was like, so I called him, and I just remember my whole life changing. At that moment, everything changed for the rest of my life. I just went, I got to do this, I got to do that. And so I sat around for a few days. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take all the money I have and go to some wild country and just go all out. And then I was thinking, you big dummy, you're 50. Like, prostate cancer takes 15 to 20 years to kill you. Right, so
interesting.
It's not a killing disease.
It takes 15 to 20 years to kill you, but
right.
Let's just say you had chose to go through surgery or radiation. Did they give you any feedback on if that would shorten your lifespan?
No.
I would think being on a colonoscopy bag.
I would kill myself if I was holding the bag.
You wouldn't want to live long.
Right, my life expectancy would be short after I got the bag. He didn't talk about that. It was like 10 minutes. You have cancer. And that was 10 minutes of me walking in the door of the clinic to seeing my doctor and being in my car and making life-changing decisions on my way home. So, anyways, he didn't give me any hope. And doctors really, they can't because they get paid by giving you medicine and treatments. I'm on medicines for the rest of my life. His clinic is getting paid. So
he wasn't one of those woke doctors.
No, and I don't even like woke, but I did. I know what you mean. But yeah,
just bad joke.
He wasn't there, and so I went on YouTube. And I called my sister and a bunch of people, and I was like, "Yo, here's what's going on." And so I started getting all these things from Dr. Sebi, and people just flooded me with information, right? So I was like, and I just got this pile of stuff, of people just giving me stuff. One of my really good friends back in Texas, he got it. He cured himself in like 12 months. I talked to another guy that cured himself in 4 months, and another guy that cured himself in like 3 months, and another guy in a year. And so I'm finding all these stories of people curing themselves. And so then I watched a special on Netflix called Unwell. I think it's Well or Unwell. And they do a 40-day water fast, no food, and they go into, and they talk about how it heals you. And so most people really don't say, well, why does fasting heal you? But I did all the research. I have like 20 books on disease, obesity, cancer. At thousands of hours I've spent researching cancer and how to get over it. And so what most of the people came to, they like, you need to fast. So when you have a disease, you starve it, period. So if you starve the disease, it can't eat. The only thing that feeds cancer is sugar. So they were all like, cut the sugar out. So if all I eat is sugar and you don't feed it to me, then I'm going to starve. 1, 2, be careful of the foods you eat, because even like some like meats and like bread, starches, rices, that stuff turns straight to sugar, which is why the Japanese, they drink green tea, because it blocks the conversion of turning to sugar and spiking your insulin. So I learned, I need to answer something. Oh.
Or at least like Edna joined. Hi,
Oh,
Edna, and then
my
Tommy.
boy Tommy. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
his dad, survivor of prostate cancer, especially black men. Interesting.
no, it is. In black men, prostate cancer is huge. It's giant in the black community. I don't know if it has something to do with the prostate, the glands, the size. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but it's actually a pretty popular disease among black men. So after doing all the research, I just decided I'm going to cut the sugar out. So like if I would go out and eat a piece of cake, I knew that I was feeding my cancer. So we went out and someone was like, hey, let's grab drinks. And I'm drinking like a margarita. I don't drink stuff with that much sugar, but if I was going to drink a margarita, like say I just got lazy and I was out with friends, I knew as soon as I drank that margarita, the sugar was going to go straight to my cancer. Like they do tests and they'll put sugar in the body and it goes straight to the cancers.
Interesting.
So I started that. And then I decided to do a water fast, but this was months ago. So, because everyone's like, do 21-day fast. One, if you don't feed the cancer, it won't eat. Number one. And two, once your body goes into what's called autophagy, where, after 18 hours, 24, the numbers are everywhere, where your good cells eat the bad cells. So your old cells that are just laying around dead, the good cells will eat them. And then also your brain switches from food to the fat turns into ketones and things, and then it feeds your brain, your body. So last time I ate tomorrow will be 18 days. And I have my energy, as you can tell. I'm still bubbling. I've been running around. I walked 2-3 miles today.
How much weight have you lost?
So when I started this, I was 170. I fluctuate between 171 and 175. It's funny, I could eat and the next day be 4 pounds heavier. It's mind-blowing to me. But when I started this, I was somewhere around 175. This was 17, 18 days ago. This morning I weighed in at, like I'm fighting. Actually, I'm fighting for my life. I weighed in at 158.
Wow.
So it's the skinniest I've ever been. My high school weight when I was running track, playing football, and in the band at the same time, I was 155. So I'm at my, and ironically, I've said one day I want to go back to 155. I just didn't want to do it this way. So by doing the water fast, there's nothing going in my system but water. And then I do take supplements. I drink, Dr. Berg has this green wheatgrass with lemon, so I can do that. I'll do some black seed oil. I'll do vitamin D. I take supplements. I can do ginger, so I can eat little pieces of ginger, or I can do ginger shots and juice it up, which are like $3 versus just squeezing it yourself. And you can make a box for $3, but I was in a hurry. So those are the only things that I'm taking while I'm on the fast. And the crazy part is on day 3, my hunger disappeared, like completely. I remember going to my son Khalid's house on Thanksgiving, and his wife Stella. Oh man, it was empanada.
Oh.
It was like Puerto Rico food everywhere, and I went in there, but I was already, 5-6 days into my fast, even though I was starving, because when you smell food, it's like,
Yeah.
oh. And so I said, let me have some of those. I wrapped them up, and then this is true story. So I brought them home, and I would chew them and spit them out. And that's how I got through that day. So I took like 2 or 3 empanadas, and I ate like a full one, and I remember spitting it out. And it was, and she offered me a cookie, and I was like, eh. And I took a bite, and I spit it out. I was like gargling. It was insane. I was just trying to fight this. And it was just because I went there. So, but after day 3, my hunger was gone. And then my energy started picking
So there's
up.
a lot of mental toughness that has to go into what you're doing, obviously.
Yes, hell yes. To not eat, especially when your friends, like my birthday passed, Thanksgiving, it's like all these things. And I'm like my friends, they're, it's one of my really, really good friends' birthday this weekend, and they're going to this fabulous restaurant party bus and all that. And me 2 years ago, I would have been on the bus having a couple drinks, going to eat all this food that I should not be eating. But now I'm like, no, I'm fighting for my life. If I go there and pig out on tacos and margaritas, I'm going to undo what I've done. And so you have to make decisions like that, right? And it sucks, but, and this is not something you have to do. Well, it's something you need to do forever as far as your diet and everything, but fasting, I only have to do this. I might do a 21-day fast once a year or something like that, even when my cancer is gone, to still just keep my body, recycled, keep it brand new. So the water fast is step 1. Even if you're not trying, even if you don't have an illness, like for instance, let's say you want to lose 10, 15 pounds. Like I've lost 17 pounds in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Yes, men drive me crazy.
Well, I mean, and I love it because now I can go back to Spain and Bordeaux, France. I can shop, with the little tiny Europeans, and not the big booty, big men store. I was 201 pounds mid-year. It's December actually, and I'm 160. So I was already doing some things to lose weight, just watching certain foods and getting rid of sugars, just creams and dairies, and just you eat a Caesar salad, and the salad is 200 calories, and then you put Caesar sauce on it, and now it's 1,200 calories. Mm-hmm. So just stuff like that I would avoid. But moving forward, back to Jamaica, the water fast is what I'm focusing on. Now, how I got started in it, I didn't just start right away. I don't think anyone, unless they're just nuts, says I'm going to go 21 days without eating. What I did is I started intermittent fasting, which is what you talked about. You go a certain period of time and you don't eat, which is so easy. Mm-hmm. Like there's people that say, if you can go 12 hours without eating, that's considered intermittent fasting. I'm thinking, let me get this straight. So you ate at 8. You telling me you can't wait till 8 a.m. to eat again?
Right.
Are you, first of all, breakfast. Let me tell you why you don't eat breakfast. Because what happens is your body is resting and you wake up and your body is feeding on the fats, the nutrients. Your body is living on those. That's why you see a lot of successful people, a lot of thinner people won't eat breakfast. So the minute you eat breakfast, you shut down your fat burning, your energy that your body's kicking in, you shut that down. That goes back, okay, wait, they don't need us today, they're going to gain 2 more pounds, and then you start eating food. And the crazy part is people say, I need food for energy. That is not true. You don't need, when you eat something, you don't feel that nutrition or energy for days. Mm. So if I ate, let's say this morning I woke up, I was like, I want a taco. That taco is not giving me any energy unless it's sugar, and that's a whole different story, because sugar is just deadly. If I eat a balanced meal, I'm not going to feel that energy for days. So people feel like they need to eat for energy. That's not true. Has nothing to do with it.
Right, it's the insulin levels. Because the reality is you still have gas in the car. You don't need to eat because there's still gas in the car. You need to eat when there's no more fuel left in the car. And as long as we have the fat and all that stuff, we just need to keep driving what's in the tank.
Oh, yeah, no, you could go up to, this one guy I watched, he went a year without eating. 1 year water fast, vitamins, that's it. And he lost hundreds of pounds. Because you have to figure, the body, for every 3,500 calories, is 1 pound. So let's say I burn 2,000 calories a day. So it takes me 2 days, just 2 whole days, just to burn 1 pound. Think about that for a second.
Yeah.
So if I'm burning 2,000 calories a day, and then I'm eating 4,000, like breakfast, bacon, eggs, chicken and waffles, syrup, that's another 5,000. Ketchup, which has more sugar than soda.
Oh my gosh. Did you see I saw on Instagram the other day, I think it was 3 tablespoons of ketchup has
That
as
was
much
you.
sugar as
You
a
freaked me
donut.
out.
I stopped
Yes,
eating
that was
ketchup since
you.
then.
I threw my
I'll be
ketchup in the
honest,
trash.
I love ketchup.
Ketchup is
I
done.
was heartbroken.
You want to make
try?
oh, that's my sister.
Hey, girl.
She should be asleep. If you want to eat ketchup, take a tomato, salt, pepper, garlic. You know what I'm saying? You could take some little almond milk or almond milk, shitty, but cashew milk, blend it up, and boom, there's your ketchup. And you know what's in it, all the preservatives, the xanthan gum and all that crap, the sugar. Like if you eat like a Honey Nut Cheerios, like they have a Honey Nut Cheerios bar. 4 ingredients are sugar.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. So and the crazy part, when I was a kid, we'd eat Cheerios and put sugar in it to the point where you could scoop it and see sugar on the bottom.
Yeah.
I know I contribute to whatever I'm dealing with. So I get so lost. Oh, intermittent fasting. So anyways, if you go from 8 to 8, that's 12 hours. Like, you think about this. If you're working on something really heavy or you got a deadline, think about how many times you stop to eat. You won't eat.
Don't. Yeah, I don't.
I can go the whole day
Yeah.
without eating. And I remember working for my father, and we would eat once a day. And we'd be like, okay, we'd have to stop and eat. It was like that. Okay, my father would say, okay, now let's eat. I was like, okay, I guess it's time, right? So intermittent fasting, 12 hours is just baby. That's like baby steps. The ultimo, from what I'm hearing, is for beginners, is 18 hours. So what I did is I would go 12, right? And then what I would do is I would say, okay, now I'm going to go till 12 o'clock. So that's 8 to 8 is 12 hours. Plus 4 more is what? 16 hours. Mm-hmm. So they call it a 16-8 fast. You only eat in an 8-hour window. But from 12 to 8 is still a long time to eat. Mm-hmm. So then I started going, okay, I'm going to eat at 8, and then I'm going to go till 2, and then 4. Right? And then I worked my way up to 24 hours. Because I'm a foodie. I love food. I'm always cooking.
You are a major foodie.
Right now I cannot wait to have my Wagyu burger, all grass-fed, cauliflower with my cheese from France and my homemade guacamole. I think I'm going to eat that on Monday. It's going down. So, but doing that, then I worked my way up to one day. And then I said, what up, girl? So what happens is now I said, I'm going to skip the nights. So what I started doing, so if I ate at 8 p.m., I would go the whole day, and then what I would try and do is I would just go to bed. Now, if my girlfriend was here, then it was different, right? Because, anyways, you got to feed your woman, right? And most women aren't trying to go a whole day without eating. You ain't trying to have this hangry woman on your hands. But thank God when I started my fast, I was alone, right? So no one was here. I basically have the whole house to myself for a month. So I was going to fly out and do it, but then I was like, you know what, Walter, grow up. You're an adult. Do it here. So I started it here. But that wasn't before doing my, little fast and then getting it bigger. And then I went almost 2 days and then I ate. So I was like, okay, I can go 2 days. And so I remember it was almost 3 weeks ago. And I went out one night, I ate a bunch of stuff I shouldn't. And I remember laying on this floor right here with a towel. Just everything I'd eaten from that day and the day before had come up. And I think I had some bone marrow or something. I just ate bone marrow, steak. I had this bread with the sea salt on it. I think I had a little butter cake, stuff I don't normally eat. But you have to watch your company. You have to watch the people. I mean, nothing wrong with, no shade to them. It's just they're not really thinking like you. Like, if I eat that. And so my body, everything I ate was just everywhere.
Yes, I came over the next
Remember
day.
the next day I had bacon,
everywhere.
not baby powder.
Thanks for letting me know since I vacuumed.
I had baking soda everywhere. I was just, and then that was Saturday, and then I woke up Sunday, was like, I'm never going to eat again, is what I said to myself. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to start my fast. And then I went one day, and I remember, hey, football? What are we doing tonight? Hey, do you want to have drinks? I was like, no, I'm not going to eat. And everyone was like, are you out of your mind? And I did it again.
Can I ask? I want to ask a question on this real fast because it just makes me think about you had wanted to lose weight, blah, 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 right? You started your whole thing. It makes me think about, we hear this all the time, is what is your why, right? Do you have a strong enough why? Obviously, you're diagnosed with cancer, so your why changed, so you started implementing.
My why was a capital W.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
it was pretty big.
So, what do you think the difference was? Because it was like, okay, you waited 2 days, ate, got sick. Do you think it was because there was a part of you that maybe hadn't come to terms with the fact yet? Or do you think it was you were kind of building up that mental toughness? Or?
I was building it up. I was putting it off because I was going to go somewhere and do it with these kumbaya people. So it was really that, and like going, okay, for me it was like, where do I go for 21 days and not be around people or food and not eat? Because even like, people come over, like me and you, Erica, we've done this a few times, I'm like, giving everybody wine and food, and I'm not having any. Mm-hmm. So that's what I was worried about. And so it just took me being sick that day to say, okay, dude, grow up, like start the process. So, and I just started it. In day 3, my hunger disappeared, my energy. I remember walking like 6 miles, and then I called my old personal trainer, and I was like, hey, what are you doing? You want to walk? She's like, yeah. And so I told her, and I think I was on like day 4, 5, or 6. I was like, hey, I haven't eaten in a week. And she's like, oh, man, really? I was just like, no. My energy is like, I'm on fire right now, and I'm clear. Here's the thing about not eating, is you become clear. Mm. Like my mental clarity, like as this, what me and you were doing right here, as the money talks, is in. I pulled it out. My notes are 2010. My full business plan, everything laid out. Commercials, travel, the whole network, how I'm traveling the world and interviewing people about money and celebrities, has been in a box for 12 years. During my fast, because I'm not spending 3-4 hours a day making dinner, cooking, eating, I opened up the box, started on it, and now as the money talks is a real thing. That I got clear on the other things I was doing for income, like the cars and certain things. I was like, I don't need to do that anymore. I have these, So
you had less distractions from the isolation as well.
Yeah, that, and just my mind, I felt like my mind just lifted. Like all of a sudden, there's more, I could just do more. I couldn't explain it, but like I wake up, my mind's like, okay, let's go. You need to do this, 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 and this. And so I'm doing a lot of technical things behind the scenes that I needed to do. And so that, without all the food bogging me down, I got real clear. Like on Verbal Herb and Lit.1, the candle company, those things were like coming together. And before I remember just waking up in the morning, because I would eat dinner, make dinner for us, drink a bottle of wine or half a glass, between 2 people. And then, and then I would snack, because 8 o'clock and you snack, you're watching a movie, you have a glass of wine with a movie and you snack and just like, oh, it's 11 o'clock. I would love a midnight snack. And then ice cream and before you know it, and then I wake up like, oh, stupid.
Right.
I don't wake up like that. Now my body, because when you eat late at night, your body is working, your digestive system is working. Then it takes a break. So I think it takes 4 hours for your body to go into fasting mode. But then you hit it with something else and your body's like back again. So I was exhausted. And then I found myself falling asleep. This morning I woke up at 5 o'clock. It is 8 o'clock. I'm wired. Normally I'd be taking naps because I'm not bogging my body down with food. I'm talking like you should never eat again.
I know.
My energy, I don't have the interruptions. So, and I told one of my buddies, getting cancer is the best thing that ever happened to me. Best thing that ever happened to me health-wise, because it woke me up. And so now I know, like, instead of eating, go out and have 10 Ruffles, like you can have just 10.
I know.
I get excited about doing kale chips and the olive oil and sea salt after they come out. Bam, I'm done. I don't eat rice anymore. At least I try not to unless I go to omakase, which I tend to do when my fast is up. Lord have mercy. I do cauliflower. I grate it, and you know what I'm saying? I can mix it with turmeric and things, and it looks just like rice. And it's done, so I don't have the carbs, because when you eat rice, your blood sugar and insulin spike to the roof, right? So, and it's funny, just by pouring vinegar on rice, which is what the Japanese do, you cut the insulin and sugar spike by 50% at least. So that's why when you go to Europe, they give you bread with vinegar because carbs spike your blood sugar, the vinegar brings it back down.
Interesting.
I had no idea. And
Do
ironic.
you have to put disclaimers on this?
I mean, I'm just talking about the shit I learned. I have no idea. what I'm going on.
So Kiki asked a question. Is it better to start off with intermittent fasting or just go cold turkey into fasting?
Intermittent fasting, definitely. I started intermittent fasting by far because it gives you a chance. You have to work up to it. It's like if you're going to jump off a cliff, you walk up to the cliff, you back up, walk up to the cliff again, you back up. It's a true story. Me and my buddy Nate Ireton, my girl, jumped off of a rock in Cancun, and I was like, it took me like 4 times to get to this rock, and I finally like, you bitch, just jump. So intermittent fasting, you have to start like that. And then once you get to day 2, you could do it. I'm telling you, your hunger just turns off because in your body, and I had some fat, and I was kidding myself that I was fit. I was like, you ain't fit. You're looking like circumference. Here comes the Buddha. That was me. I was 200 pounds and 5'9", and I was 200 pounds. And one of my buddies said, I went to tie my shoe one day, and I had to catch my breath. And I went, damn, this dude is going through what I went through. So, anyways, I feel way better. I love being 158 pounds. I could probably get down to 155 and then work out like crazy because losing weight is not exercise. It's diet.
Yes.
Then you get down. Then you should still always exercise. But I wanted to lose the weight and then tone up like crazy. I don't want to be like the Hulk, but just tone up. But it's easier to tone up at 155 than 195. Because if you're 195 and 5'8",
you're a tall Cam.
Yeah.
Yes, you're 6', tall Cam.
Open them up. So it's easier. And then diet, I think someone said it's 85%. Losing weight is 85% diet.
Yeah.
Diet and exercise. Diet is the main course. Exercise is the side dish. Period. Or if you live in Utah and you're in one of those, organizations where you got 6 wives, you got your main wife is diet, and then number 2 is exercise. That's why when you go to the gym, you see the big people on the treadmill. When you go to the weight section, you rarely see somebody that's just all over the place on the weights. They're on the treadmill, and then you go on the treadmill. Let's say they burn 1,000 calories, and that's a long time on the treadmill. Yeah. That's like an hour, 2 hours.
6 miles, yeah.
So, but they do that. Then they go to the smoothie bar at the gym, walk out, grab a protein shake with bananas, peanut butter, all this crap in it, and they load their body with 500, 600, 700 calories. Peanut butter.
Tons of sugar.
Milk. Like somebody said, oh, can I have a milk? I'm like, dude, why would you drink milk and a banana and peanut butter and why would you give it all back? I pulled the dude aside one time. He wanted to F me up. Then you go home. Then you eat 1,000, 2,000 calorie lunch. Then you have dinner for 2,000, 3,000 calories, and you're at 5,000 calories for the day. And you wonder why 70% of the people in this country are overweight. So you take that stuff, and I know that's not why I started fasting. I originally started fasting because of, I was already intermittent fasting. My father was Muslim, but still is, and so we ate once a day, and that's just, a lot of Eastern cultures will eat once a day, or they will skip, they won't eat. They'll go days without eating. Fasting, it's a total thing. So I was kind of already, used to it. But man, once I started my fast, and I know right now my good cells are eating my bad cells, my stem cells are coming to work, and then the cancer cells, what happens with cancer? Cancer is immortal. That's why it kills you. Your cells die. Cancer cells don't die. There are what they call immortal cells. So they live forever, and what they do is they start spreading, especially to spots of inflammation, which is why I brought up my accident. Because I was in a car accident, that your body's inflamed, and then you have cancer. Cancer spreads towards inflammation. So you have to go, whoa, you have to be, so I not only have to worry about inflammation and keeping that down, I also have to worry about the cancer. There's a lot of stuff going on. So, but doing all this in concert helps people with diabetes, which means like your diet is beating you. Like if you like every time you jack your insulin up, you get shots. That stuff is all reversible. It's most of it is just food.
I believe that, yeah.
Food. So many issues are related to food and stress, and water is a good cleanse. Like I remember, people say, "Do you go to the bathroom?" Not in about 2 weeks, which saves me all kind of time. I'm gonna reading on my phone. Which time I probably got like 30 minutes a day, just not having to do that.
You are silly.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I count all the blessings. Like man, and I'm thinking, how we cure world hunger? If we quit snacking, we go to eating once or twice a day. We could take the rest of the food and give it to the people that need it. If I can go 21 days, and part of me is flirting with doing 30, but I'm thinking, I'm tired of fighting with my friends, and 21 days is the mark, from what I hear. But man, if we could just treat food what it is as pure entertainment and nurturing, oh man, we'd be better off.
So you started your podcast as The Money Talks as a result of this is a project you've wanted to work on for the last 12 years, essentially.
Correct.
You went through this, you got some clarity, and so now you've started this podcast. So let's hear a little bit about your podcast.
As The Money Talks, man. So I was in my office. I used to work in Riverside, and I thought I need a cool show. And me having old soul, I used to watch soap operas and things like that. When I was a kid, it is what it is. And I remember the show As the World Turns. I was like, oh, this is a cool show. And then one day I was sitting in my office and I said, As the Money Talks. Bam, it hit me in the face. And I was just like, that's it. I hired this crew, my whole office. We had business plans. We were going and doing videos, interviewing celebrities, like Genuine and that Mindless Behavior, Teddy Riley. So I have a bunch of those interviews that were in the can, and we released some of them. And then we were doing it, and then I got recruited to. Long story. Cool company. That's actually how I met you.
Yes.
I got recruited, and I put it in the shelf, and I put all my dreams, cornucopia, As the Money Talks. I put Verbal Herb, my clothing line, which was actually that idea came before As the Money Talks, which is crazy. My boy T is right. 80% exercise, 80% diet, 20% exercise. So Verbal Herb was first before As the Money. So having clarity, I said, I'm going to do, what could I do that would allow me to travel the world, be in a different country every month for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 days at a time, but still do something that I'm good at. And I thought, even in finance, like if you can manage Kanye West and all these other celebrities and give them advice, why can't you just do that to the planet? So I was like, I need money. I monetize this, but be able to kick information and teach people about how money works. Like we talked about the car, using your car to buy real estate, which we'll talk about in one of our future podcasts.
Yes, lots of strategy we're going to be talking about that we can start implementing now, that people can start implementing now, not 30 years from now.
Right now.
We can live now, people.
My God, the things you could do if most people would just pump the brakes and just go, I'm going to give this 30 minutes. There's so many things you could do.
Well, I even just think about probably how much money you've saved right now in the last 21 days. Because I know you're a foodie. I know you'd like to go and have a nice glass of wine. So how much money do you think this 21 days is going to save?
Easy, $1,000.
Easy, yeah.
Because I cook, I'll go get ribeye or tomahawk ribeye with, a bottle of wine and all the fine foods. I like to shop, for the real stuff. I don't eat crap like some of the, I like to go to the good stores and eat healthier. But that's, me. You come, I'd be cooking. If I wasn't fasting, there'd be still pans on the stove. So it's only 7 o'clock. I'd be getting down right now. I'd probably still be cooking in real life. So I've saved a bunch of money. My clothes have just like this suit I couldn't wear 2 weeks ago, and now I think it's a size 32. It's like falling off. This shirt, I'm not gonna get naked. Don't get excited. But this shirt is a small. When I really started my fast, I could wear a medium, but it was kind of snug. And then, so I would wear a large, and then I got into a medium. And then a couple of days ago, I went, I'm going to rock this small. And I walked into like, music playing, dun, 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 like Darth Vader, like the Darth Vader march. That was me doing the the Darth Vader march. Stop, Marie.
Yes, thank you, Marie. Thank you.
Y'all know y'all want that. No. But I remember doing this. and putting on this shirt. And for the first time in my adult life, I can wear a small. And I was like doing the jig. My neighbors, because I had my windows open, because I was having, long story. I'm dancing upstairs. They're probably like, look at this dude. He's losing his mind. But so I'm in a small. I have these 32 size pants that I bought for the day that I could fit into them. I'm wearing them today and they're falling off. And so I'm like, man. And it only took me 21 days to get rid of that. And now because I'm eating right, I know what to do and how to eat, calorie restriction when it's necessary, I can stay this size for the rest of my life. And ironically, my father is a little bit skinnier than I am.
Interesting.
And my grandfather was the same size. So I think then they just got older, and my father has always ate well. So, but I love it. So outside of the cancer, just like being able to go into a store in, Germany, whatever, I don't know, and just, oh, that's a cool mannequin. He's small as hell. But I could say, you know what, I'll take those clothes. And, that's cool because then it's easier to shop than when you're pushing weight. So fasting, and there's a lot of stuff that comes with it. Like when you fast, like diabetes, those illnesses, they slow down. And most people that are taking injection for diabetes or all these medicines, with just fasting, you hear people dropping the medicines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Your body could heal. So, I mean,
awesome.
I could go on this subject forever, but I won't.
Know.
And I
have
somewhere, I'm supposed to be somewhere in an hour. It's like I haven't eaten, and I'm like, I'm not hanging out tonight. I'm actually working tonight. I have 2 stops to make for 2 different businesses. It's crazy, but like I'm wired right now, and I know if I had lunch and dinner, I'd be like, oh hell to the no, I'm not going out. I'm stay here.
Yes. Well, obviously, we wish you all the best as you're continuing your last couple days of your fast, and
I have
obviously
4 more days,
yes.
and then it's bone broth, some vegetables, and then it's because I learned how to make cauliflower bread because eating bread grains, that's dangerous. Whole grains, scam. Like that stuff. First of all, anyways, without going into the details, gluten is a killer. My Wagyu beef with my cauliflower bun and my cheese and my I'm excited. Yeah, I know. I'll invite you.
I'm excited too.
I think I'm invited a bunch of people.
Yes. But we wish you obviously all the best going through your journey with cancer right now.
Oh yeah.
So
I got this. It's a wrap.
It's a wrap, and so we'll be hearing more about that. Obviously, as the money talks, every Tuesday you're on all platforms, all podcast platforms. You're live.
Oh, is it every Tuesday? Okay.
Well, that seems to be when we record.
No,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, I'm like commitment. I have commitment
issues.
issues.
Marie. I know, right? So he's on all platforms. He's on YouTube, Amazon, Audible, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Facebook, LinkedIn,
everywhere.
just
Jesus.
everywhere.
I'm coming at you from all directions.
Coming at you from all directions. So yes.
I know it's scary for some people. But
Learning money tips. Obviously you're gonna have some great speakers on the show and just sharing some of your own experiences. And obviously what I'm most excited about too is hearing some of the strategies that you're going to be sharing. So.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
First one I think is going to be Dougie Fresh. You just hit me.
Dougie Fresh.
I'm in Jamaica. We'll figure it out.
Yes.
I'm coming to get you.
No, I was going to say I heard you say we'll fly out to wherever he's at.
I did say that.
We're going to Jamaica.
I don't know. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to interview him this week. But we'll interview celebrities. We'll talk to them.
Oh, look at Marie says cooking segments. Agree, Marie.
I know.
Agree.
I'm bringing.
Agree.
The cooking show is going to have to slide under As the Money Talks. As the Money Talks. Like
I think we're going to
edition.
we'll do like $50 meals or something. I think would be fun, Walter.
I already have the kitchen set up. I already have the camera angles, the equipment, everything for the this is what I was telling you, for the cooking show. It's already so, maybe we can do sexy meals, cooking things that you can actually eat and be healthy, right? I have a bunch of gourmet menus that are all healthy without sugar. Oh, man. Whew. Just
awesome.
4 more days. Anyways,
4 more days.
I'm getting too excited
All right.
about food.
Thank you, everyone who joined us. Tommy, Kiki, Marie. Marie's still laughing at you. Right?
No, actually,
I know
because
Denitra was with us. Edna
is a cook. She is a professional.
So guest segment,
cook.
Marie.
Oh yeah.
Guest segment.
I gotta. You come in the kitchen. I got a stool for you too. Don't trip. Right, like it's going down. And my boy Tommy, I've known forever. We used to race sports
Do I
cars
know
through
who
wine
Tommy
country.
is? I feel like I know Raider Tommy.
You might, but no, we used to race sports cars through wine country, man. We had some good times.
Okay.
Anyways,
Awesome.
I can't do none of that stuff for
Hey
4
Marie,
more
so
days.
put it in your calendar though. We're gonna do a cooking episode with you.
She already knows. We talked about
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining
All right.
us. We will see you soon. Have a great one.
this. Peace to the Middle East. Cool.